Hi guys, welcome back to episode number 5 of J&H in the comic Wasteland. With us today we have Johnny, look at this handsome fellow.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. And
awesome.
Of course he is Jay's brother. Yeah. And he's with us today, so we're going to discuss Archie. We're actually going to be talking about how we got to issue 11, sorry. And Johnny's going to be...
Alright, let's be honest guys, have we checked out an issue of Archie prior to this run with Mark Waid?
Only Afterlife. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Afterlife, okay. That's
snippets in the newspaper, yeah.
I mean, that's basically the point of this, like, you know, he actually made it refreshing, new.
Jumping on point, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
like, you know, perfect for, like, casual readers, people of our generation.
So where does it pick up, like, from this time around?
Alright, so from the start, like, Betty and Archie break up from the start. Like, from all, like, the first page, like, oh, they broke up.
Elizabeth Cooper.
You know, so basically, like, the first few issues about, like, them moving on. Like, you know, Archie finds, they introduce Veronica in issue 2. Issue 4, I think they introduce Saeed for Betty, and it's just going on.
Right.
What else can you say? It's...
I mean, well, what attracted you to the book? You
know,
like,
initially...
For the initial...
It was initial, alright, it was Mark Waid doing it. Wrote Daredevil, the former writer of Daredevil.
That's true.
And Incorruptible, Irredeemable. Fiona Staples, the artist. Saga, of course, we all know Saga.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's like, alright, let's check it out. That's how I always pick up, like, new comics, based on writer or artist, see where it goes. And honestly, yeah, I've been in love with it since.
Okay.
So,
I did like that with the whole hashtag lipstick incident thing. Like,
yeah.
it was very telling that, like, everybody wanted to know what was going on. Like, it was the talk of the town, the talk of the school. Like, and I just thought it was interesting that, like, no one knew what was going on.
Exactly.
Like, and you just think that in this age where, like, everyone knows everything, they were able to keep this secret for so long.
I think, yeah, Jughead knew, or like they thought Jughead knew.
Jughead Jones.
Yeah, and, like, you know, the idiot savant. Like,
exactly. No, I mean, it's interesting because, like, it's the life of these kids, right? I mean, that's all there are, kids, and for some reason we just find, like, very enticing the older we get, because I guess we're living through them by proxy and all their, like, ridiculous problems.
I think that's the point. That,
it's,
you know,
relatable.
Right.
Exactly.
Everyone, you can relate to... Anyone can relate to a character in this book, whether it's Archie, or you're the Veronica, or you're the Betty, or you're the Jughead, or...
Exactly.
Or even if you're the Reggie, you know.
Right. There's always, like, some outlier. In this case, like Veronica Lodge shows up with her father, the rich,
bougie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, yeah, she's like, oh, who's the chef in for like the lunchroom? Like, what? Like, what is this?
Yeah, she's very disconnected from, like.
She's seen how the other half lives.
Exactly. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, to catch up, like, Archie's just life. That's pretty much like a book of life.
It's very, very slice of life.
Well, issue 10, that's when, like, the major lines were drawn.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's where you find out Mr. Collier, Betty's uncle,
right,
is running for mayor against
Veronica's dad,
Mr. Lodge. And at the beginning of the issue, they show Mr. Collie, or they call him Collie, that, like, you know, he was screaming at Archie because Archie made popcorn in the drying machine. You know, and, like, so Veronica records it, and she's showing the people at, like, the
campaign office.
Yeah, the campaign office, like, oh, that's Archie, my boyfriend, and stuff like that. But then the campaign manager sees it,
gets a hold of the footage, right,
and uses it as a smear campaign.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? Because, like, this teacher, half of the school likes him, half of the school hates him.
Right.
But the kicker is, he is Betty's uncle. And that is what, like, that I guess caused a rift or a schism, like a really big rift between, like, Betty and Archie, because they think Archie is siding.
Yeah, they think it's personal. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not. You know, it's not.
Archie had nothing
like,
to do with it, right?
Yeah, it just happened.
Well, indirectly. I mean, because, like, I mean.
Well, it's all like everything that happens is always indirectly, like, with Archie somehow. But
so
I think,
yeah, it was a major line was drawn, and then at the end of issue 10, they talk about, like, oh, why do you like Veronica so much? And he's like, oh, she's smart, she's confident, she knows who she is. Which is kind of like callback to the whole lipstick incident, which was like, oh, Betty was just...
They were trying to make Betty more girly.
More girly, and, like, you know, Archie was not with it at all. Archie's stance was, why fix what's not broken?
Exactly.
So, and like, she just wanted to try it, and, like, he wasn't with it at all, and they stopped talking since.
Right.
Which was a funny thing was, I think, in issue 4, where like, you know, he's waiting for Betty to reply to his text. He's going through like he walks through wet cement. He walks through
construction site.
Yeah,
Yeah, like all this
construction
stuff.
site, and like he causes a car crash, and like like nothing, radio silence from her. So
Yeah, Archie's very aloof when it comes to like life sometimes. So when he's
he's blissfully ignorant.
he has a one-track mind, and when he's on it, it's just
heart of gold.
Exactly.
But yeah, doesn't
Exactly.
pay attention. So
Right.
now it brings us to issue 11.
yes.
Um,
Now we go into the deets of the latest issue.
Basic-
So Mark Waid's still writing, but who's illustrating it this time?
This time it's Ryan Jampol does the breakdowns, and Thomas Patelli does the finishes.
Yeah.
New guys. I know Jampol does Mega Man. He did Mega Man, and Patelli does like New York Times like cartoons and stuff like that. Still consistent with like all the previous artists. Like, you know, they bring it's still the same. It's not really the same. It's just like, you know, their take, and still like not that far off
No, it's
from
very similar.
Yeah.
to
no,
Fiona Staples,
they keep it
Veronica
fairly
Fish,
consistent, yeah.
and
Consistent.
even Annie Wu, that one issue that she did.
Yeah, no, it's true. It is very consistent.
So it starts off with them like, oh, Veronica has this idea to kind of restore order by like joining the talent competition, making everyone like her again.
Yeah.
We're gonna form a band.
Right.
Yeah.
She does, like, that's the thing. She's also kind of one track mind as well, because she thinks
I think it's more self-centered.
that you're probably right. But if you think about it, like in the issue, Archie's like narrating the whole story, and he's like, well, she doesn't know how to like just let things be and
Right.
ease down. No, she's like,
She has to poke and prod.
keep going until like it's
Yeah.
fixed. So, and that's why we end up with this mess. So
I don't know if we can really say it's in retaliation of it, but then after Betty overhears Archie, Jughead, and Veronica playing, she decides to form a band.
I guess
it
it
was
just upset her, right?
Yeah, it was
more-
because it was something that was more about them. It was something like they
That
did.
was something, right.
I wouldn't say retaliation or maybe being petty,
Right.
but it was their thing, and like, you know, so she forms a band with Dilton, Tony Topaz, and Moose, and
Moose
Saeed,
and Saeed.
Saeed.
Yeah.
And there is like a little snippet where like, you know, where they show like Tony Topaz checking out Saeed, like, yo, like, what are you doing, Betty? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, this boy needs some love. Like,
Yeah,
this-
some
this kid needs
attention. Attention. That's what it was.
Yeah, I really got the impression that Betty's not that into Saeed.
I think she is, but I think she's easily
She's still-
overshadowed
she's still
by
hung up
Archie.
on-
It's
yeah.
just like it happens, right? Like when you're with someone for so
Yeah,
long,
right.
and they're still like constantly around you. I don't
In
think
your
it's an
life,
easy.
right, yeah.
I don't think it's an
They
easy
live
thing
right
to
next door to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
It's Betty's literally the girl next door.
Yeah.
literally. And it's cool because I feel like this time around, like they're giving them like very strict like personalities. Like Betty's like the mechanic, and like you know
She's very tomboyish,
she's
but
very
still
hands-on.
very feminine.
Very sensual,
Like she
yeah,
doesn't
she's-
dress the part.
Exactly. And Archie, well, he's still a fuck up, but like he's loved by the school. He's like a good musician.
Very popular,
Exactly.
you know.
Jughead is like the idiot savant, you know, and Veronica, she sometimes has her good intentions, but she can't like see past her own like shit sometimes.
Right, definitely.
And that's where like it's a mix of like all these characters just trying to get their shit together, and Archie's like always in the middle of this mess. And that's because
again, a lot of times like he isn't even aware of it. You know.
no,
Yeah.
he just thinks like, oh, you know, I like Ronnie and I just, you know, want to make her happy. But dude, like you're not seeing what's going on like in the bigger picture, like in the grand scheme of things. And you keep doing this, it's not gonna work out. So, and that's why. So now in the what was it like Battle of the Bands, pretty much.
So,
Like,
yeah.
the whole school didn't want to see like
Anyone else, right?
anyone,
yeah.
just these two bands.
Bands.
Just,
It was funny because they do make fun of Chip Zdarsky, the I guess former writer of Jughead.
Yeah.
Like they say like Trip Jerky,
Yeah, something
Jersky,
like-
and it was just like, you know, they poke and prod at him, and like he was gonna do his juggling act. No one
like,
was
no,
with
no,
that.
no, bring out the bands like the Ronnies and
Betty and the Waves.
Betty and the Waves. It was good. Too. I mean, it's weird too because you think it's like some of these people didn't even know how to play an instrument properly.
Yeah,
You know,
Moose only knew
one
one
note,
note.
like one note.
Yeah, one chord. Yeah, it's like,
And then Ronnie couldn't sing without looking at Archie.
Right.
And oh, dude, that was. I mean, I guess that's funny, right? Because you just see like these characters that they're trying to get their shit together, but they really can't unless they're working together.
right.
Yeah, initially Betty was like kind of angry, like she was banging on that big
dude,
Japanese
that
drum,
tribal drum,
like
yeah.
the
Like,
taiko drum. She was just banging on it, like.
Moose is like, why don't you just try this? Why don't you just take
And
this?
then that kind of like she.
That kind of broke her a little,
yeah. A little
broke-
close to home.
It's
I did like that for a few pages. It became very point of viewish with the different characters who were in these bands.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, like I think everybody at that point had like their own thing going on, like in their minds. They were like, all right, Tony's like, oh, do you need to give it to Saeed?
Yeah.
Saeed was like, shit, I'm probably like gonna lose Betty.
Yeah.
Veronica's like, you know, I'm just trying to get shit done, but at the same time, want to keep like Archie with me. And Jughead is just like,
Whatever.
fuck it, dude. Whatever happens,
He's
happens.
worried about where he's getting his next burger from. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. It's not that hard to figure out. But like overall, I think Archie's just like not so much the plot, but just like the way like these characters live their lives. I think that's what calls me the most. And obviously, like I'm a big fan of Mark Waid. Obviously, he did Superman Birthright, which is one of my favorite like Superman stories of all time. And the way he writes his characters, they're just like very well rounded, very grounded too. Especially like trying to follow something so old, like, from comic books in the newspaper to now.
I love the fact that like he's not like drastically changing these characters.
No,
like
they're
like Jughead's not a crackhead.
Exactly.
Betty doesn't have like any like body issues or anorexia or anything like that.
No,
it's
like
just normal people with their normal problems.
And and this particular issue ends in I guess finally Betty and Archie make up, but then they have
Veronica and Saeed in the shadows.
Don't look too happy at all.
I mean, I think he always planted the seed that Saeed always thought that he was always going to be second place to Archie, because and even when they introduced him, he's like, oh, her ex,
right.
And then issue 10 where they're throwing the baseball, like he oh, she wants to yell at Archie, and it's like, Archie? Like why?
Why Archie? Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
no.
I feel like they kind of missed the boat a little. Oh, I don't know. They had the chance, because I know Josie and the Pussycats is coming out next month.
Yeah.
And with their own individual series.
So maybe they could have been in the Battle of the Bands too.
And they could actually won.
Right.
I don't know. That was just like my opinion, and like they
I
never missed opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like they never said I guess it wasn't like the whole Battle of the Bands, the talent show wasn't really like the biggest issue at hand. It was like, them getting back together, being friends, cordial.
And did you get like the impression like those final pages that it kind of felt like Scott Pilgrim?
I was gonna bring that up. This is very Scott Pilgrimish.
The music,
the
people
right.
just kind of like giving the stink eye and I thought it was awesome. I thought like this story obviously usually will always revolve around these three characters: Betty, Archie, and Veronica. Right. But honestly, I don't know. Like once Archie and like Betty get back together, which they probably will at some, they have to, right? Like that's what's gonna happen with Veronica, right? Like we don't know, because the whole struggle is like them, right? Like the tree, like this triangle.
I mean, yeah, like at the end they do show like it says to be concluded. That threw me off.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, was it over? Like,
yeah,
is this final
and then
issue?
like the next page they show like Veronica potentially leaving Riverdale, which I kind of spoiled myself by looking at the solicitation, just because like I was like, oh wait, is this really the end? Yeah. But then no, there's 13, 14.
Joe Eisma of Morning Glories is gonna take over on the art, and he's introducing Cherry Blossom, and Cherry Blossom's gonna out Mean Girl Veronica.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So maybe they're finally gonna team up.
Maybe this is the end of like the Riverdale arc or something, right?
No, but it's good because now I guess like while this continues on to the concluding issue, then we have like Betty and Veronica. Yeah. We have Jughead.
Well, Jughead's getting canceled, right?
No, it's a whole new
arc.
Yeah, a whole new writing team and artists.
Okay.
I think it's Ryan North and Derek Charm.
Okay.
And like one thing we should mention is like the various options for which cover to buy.
Oh yeah.
Man. Yeah. Issue 1 had like at least like 21.
21 variants. Yeah.
Not including second printings and not including individual like retail store variants.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had like, famous like up and comers, well-known people, David Mack.
Fiona Staples had a regular cover, but then
Annie Wu, like I think they all did it. They all just pitched in.
J. Scott Campbell had one.
I usually buy my stuff digitally, but I went ahead and like bought like I think maybe 2 of the number ones, and then for Betty and Veronica I just bought like 8. Like, fucking, I love the covers. Like,
Yeah, it was really hard to choose. It's really hard to choose.
Like, but that's the point, right? Because you gotta remember, like, these are Archie Comics. This isn't like DC or IDW or Marvel. No. Like, this is their own shit, and they have to, like, you know, obviously get business. Like, so the covers are actually brilliant because the covers are super well done and they're really hard to pick. So you end up buying more than you want to. But so what? Like, you know, you collect them and then.
I did choose this one, even though, like, you know, the other covers were more musical related.
Yeah.
This one still kind of gets like the idea of, like, you know, she's on the outside looking in.
No,
like,
I think I think it's awesome. You know, the old school, you know, the jock, the cheerleader. But it's weird because usually the jock goes with the cheerleader, but in this case, like, the outsider's the one that gets the jock. So, good pick. Any closing thoughts? What do you think? Like, what do you expect of the final issue?
I think this issue, the best way to describe this issue was like the calm before the storm.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like, I expect, like, you know, it's kind of like they kind of suggested that Veronica's leaving, and so it's basically like, oh, I guess when she leaves in terms of the issue, like, you know, maybe it could like leave Archie like kind of depressed for like the rest of the issue. Just see where it goes. I mean, try something different for once, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And let me ask you, do you think, like, Archie would see what he lost, maybe, other than a friend? Like, do you think he would, like, actually realize that, like, I Betty might have been...
Right, that's what I was about to say. Is that I think it really depends on how they play the Archie-Betty relationship in the next issue. Maybe it's a thing of, you know, both of them in their own ways haven't been the same since they've broken up.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe it's just a thing of, you know, maybe it's just on a friend level, but you never know. Maybe it's ends up being something more.
I mean, that's what it felt, right? Because everybody knows they've always been together, right?
I mean,
when they
Since
broke up,
like
it's
kindergarten.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something
even
like that.
Archie's mom, you know, she wanted to be accommodating, you know, and she really wanted to like Veronica, but then, you know, Archie and Veronica overhear her mom made that one comment.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we can't deal with this girl. It's too much.
Right.
And then,
I mean, and again, maybe it's not necessarily a flaw in Veronica's character, but, you know, she wants to be liked.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
she was like a
needs to be the
famous,
popular one, yeah.
she was a reality star.
She was, yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I guess I do kind of feel bad for her because she doesn't know any better. I guess.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's, you know, that's just what she's used to, right?
Privileged.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, I mean, honestly, she's not gonna end up leaving Riverdale. I don't think.
No, I think it'll probably just be for a story arc, you know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna like somehow. Everybody's gonna like get like a silver lining by the end of.
So I think, well, potentially, maybe he doesn't win the election, and, like, you know, that's the main reason why Veronica went to Riverdale High, was to kind of make Mr. Lodge like a man of the people. Like, look, my daughter is with like the rest of these kids. Like, you know, he's the richest man in town.
Exactly.
So you could go with that. Like,
I don't know. Like, do you think money
maybe
can buy
just,
everything?
Huh?
Do you think like money will buy everything? Like in this case, I don't know.
Will
Will money buy him the race to be mayor?
It could.
I mean, now that Colley's not in the picture, I mean,
right? He's running uncontested, right? Like he's.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe Colley will show up at the last minute or something. You know?
That's how it should be, man. Maybe they like turn shit around and.
Right.
And they
you know, the town was torn in half because people loved Mr. Collier and then or hated him.
Yeah.
So
right down right down the middle. That's why like half wanted to cheer for the Ronnie, you know, the Ronnies, and the other half wanted to cheer for Betty and the Waves. So, and we don't even know who won. All you hear is like a big hooray, and then you see like these two, like, Archie and Betty, like getting their shit together.
It doesn't matter. And I was like, oh.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't really care.
Yeah,
like,
at that point, it doesn't really matter. It was just
I cared.
Well,
I cared.
I didn't care. I care for them. Like I'm always cheering for like Betty. Like Betty's like, I don't know.
No, I do think it's very telling that for a book that's not a superhero book or anything like that, that we are so invested in these characters.
Dude, like there have been weeks where I just want to read this shit first.
No, I remember asking him, I'm like, was there ever a week when Archie was like the best comic of the week? And you was like, yes.
Yeah,
like,
fuck yeah. Like,
I
can't wait.
Like, the way I always read my comics, I always read like the best for last. And like, yeah, unless this was like going up against Saga, it was, or even if it was going against Saga, I still probably read it last, saved the best for last.
Right, like.
And it was just.
No, dude, like I enjoyed it from the get-go. Like I'm like, oh god, I need more, and it came like so few in between, and I'm like, but so same thing with, like, for example, Invincible. Like Invincible, every time that issue comes out, I gotta read it first, like, and it's almost over too. But
yeah, we'll get into that.
like, but No, but Archie, like I do love Archie, and I'm glad they relaunched it. I'm glad like they got someone like Mark Waid to do these characters. So I'm actually really happy, and I'm hoping once this arc finishes, whoever like picks it up next is gonna be.
I think it still might be Mark Waid.
Yeah, that's Waid's still right.
Oh, he's gonna keep going. Okay.
I think so, and it's gonna be just Joe Eisma instead of Patelli. I know Patelli and Jampol only doing 2 issues.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm hoping like he sticks it out for at least 50 issues. I'd be happy with like 52 issues or something.
Yeah, I'll take what I could get.
But no, anyway, just to wrap up, you know, any
try it
last thoughts,
out.
anything?
I mean, like I'm pretty sure like it's on. There's an Archie app. There's maybe it's on Comixology. Definitely check it out if you want something new to read, very slice of life. Try Archie. Yeah, it's the Mushu pork. Like Paul Rudd said it best. Like, you know, try the Mushu pork. You never know. You just might like the way it tastes.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Well, yeah. So we want to thank you for being here, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Love your input, dude, and I hope we see you here next time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. So remember, this is Johnny, JH, Comic Wasteland, and we're here for you for all your needs. And please, if you have any comments, anything you want us to review, or if you want to like engage us in any way, please feel free.
Send these guys the hate mail, not me.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, tune in next week as we review Saga from Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, and Image Comics. See you then.